Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of the Galactic Citrus podcast. I'm Dana, also known as Starls, and why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Lime, also known as Lime, but you can call me Lime. So,
Hi, Lime.
Why don't you tell us about yourself, Star?
God damn it.
The ball is in your court.
Still think you should start.
Okay, I'll start, because Star doesn't want to. So, my name is Lime, like I already said. I'm about 23 years old. Actually, I'm almost 24, huh?
Old.
I live in the marvelous state of New Jersey. Is this getting a little too personal? It doesn't matter to me. I have a degree in mathematics because I love math. It's pretty cool. Fun stuff. Not for everybody, but I enjoy it. I also have a minor in engineering physics because physics is great. It's just math applied to the real world. Some hobbies of mine include video games, Rat Boy Genius, eating mac and cheese, and long walks on the beach. You can call me at the number 555-555-5555. Yeah, so that's some stuff about me. What about you, Star?
Alright, so I'm not sure how much of that was credible, but okay.
Everything was credible. Come on, when have I ever lied to you?
Always.
I don't know about
Anyways.
Always.
Hi, I'm Dana. I was from New Jersey, but I never visited Lime because he's lame.
Okay, wait. Stop right there. It is not my fault you never visited me. It is not my fault.
I don't know what you mean.
It is 100% not my fault. I definitely didn't just stop the recording by mistake. It was not my fault. 100% not my fault, and I forget what I was going to say because I accidentally stopped the recording. Oh, right. I was always like, oh, let's find a date. And you're like, well, this weekend works for me. And I was like, okay. So where should we meet? And you're like, well, I can't really drive anywhere. And I was like, well, I can't drive anywhere either. Well, I can drive anywhere. It was a matter of distance, going too far.
See,
so it's Star's fault.
Not my fault.
It's Star's fault. Because he wouldn't go the distance. Anyway, continue. And I won't stop recording by accident this time.
Okay. Well, I'm Dana. I am currently majoring in game art. And that's about it. I'm not very interesting. I don't take long walks on the beach. Not that Lime actually does.
You don't know that. You know my name, not my story.
Sure, whatever you say. But yeah.
Wow. Let me clap for you.
What did you expect me to say?
I don't know. I didn't say much either.
I'm like the most socially awkward person on this podcast.
I don't know about that. Well, I'm not as bad as I used to be honest. But I'm not great in social situations. This is a good topic, I guess. I work in a customer service setting. I won't go into the details there because that's a little too personal, I would say. I don't want people showing up where I work. Not that I think anybody's gonna, watch this and go, man, I really want to figure out where that guy works. But I work in a customer service situation, which has certainly helped me for it certainly helped me a lot in terms of just talking to people that I don't know. I still get kind of nervous around them, but not nearly as bad as I used to. But I'm always talking to you, Star, because we've known each other for how long was it again?
3 years? 4 years? 3 years?
See, he doesn't even know.
Neither do you.
I know how long we've known each other.
Okay.
Which brings me to something we agreed we would talk about, because I do know something Star doesn't. So we've known each other for 2.5, 3 years. It's definitely not 4 years. I know for a fact. But so you guys are listening, I guess. Are probably wondering, like, I wonder how these two people met if they never met in real life. Star's faults, by the way. So Star, why don't you tell us how you think we met?
See,
or our first
I don't
interaction
know.
with each other.
I feel like our first interaction was through TeamSpeak, but I feel like I might be wrong, and it might have been in Caps Chat instead.
You're getting warm. You're getting warm.
Or was it through DVZ?
Warmer. You're getting warmer.
Okay,
you've got part of the picture. Okay, so well, for those of you who don't know, Star mentioned DBZ, which is it's a Minecraft. Would you call it, like, a mini game? I don't know if I'd call it a mini game. It's more of a macro game.
It's like a mod.
It's like a mod, run by a super cool guy, Rob Moran or Ruricar22. We should probably, I guess, link him somewhere because we're mentioning him. And he honestly, he deserves the credit for his thing that he made. And yeah, he's just a really cool guy, really funny, very entertaining. I'm going off on a tangent, huh? Anyway,
yes,
so DBZ is a game called Dwarves vs. Zombies, which is where I met a lot of the close friends I've had for the past few years, including Star.
Thank you. That's flattering.
And it's basically, like we said, it's a Minecraft mod where you fight against hordes of zombies, blah 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 blah. I don't want to bore you guys with the details. It's not super important. But one aspect of it is what's called the plague, which is basically when the game actually starts, and you basically kill your teammates. I'll put it simply like that. I'm sure a lot of people watching this first episode, or listening, I'm used to saying watching because I also record videos, which maybe I should link that as well.
I see how it is, self-promotion.
Yeah, I also record videos, so I'm used to saying watching. So people who are listening, I'm sure most of the people who are listening when this first episode is going out are familiar with what TVZ is.
What listeners, Lime?
Hey, I said most. I didn't say there were a lot.
So a whole 2 people. Got it.
Yeah. At any rate, so this plague, you basically kill your teammates. And so we have a good friend. His name is Captain Amazing 98. Man, this is a lot of linking we're gonna have to do. I designate Star to do that.
I hate you.
I can do it. So we have this friend, Captain Amazing 98. He's also a cool guy. He makes YouTube videos as well, infrequently, but he's a cool guy, good friend of ours. And he streams sometimes. One of the things he streams a lot, well, not as much anymore, but he streams DBZ. And this is when I first interacted with Star. So he was in the unofficial DBZ Discord, which is a fan-made Discord server, not endorsed by the creator at all. I will not be linking to that. Anyway, so he was in that, and he invited viewers to come join him in the Discord and play the game with him. So he would be talking to them as he was streaming. So I went in because Cap's a good friend of mine, and Star was in there as well. So I didn't know this at the time. I actually thought her name was Starly, by the way. Like the Pokemon.
Everyone mispronounces my name. This is nothing new.
It's actually Starrills.
Starls.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to put emphasis on the way the ordering.
Starrills.
The way the ordering of the letters was. So a plague happens, and as I said before, you need to kill your teammates. So I went to the first person I saw in game, not realizing that they were also in the Discord call. And that was Star. And I killed Star during the plague. So she ended up playing that game as a monster. And then I realized that she was also in the Discord channel. I was like, oh man, I'm really sorry. I didn't realize you were here. And well, the rest is history.
I feel like I don't remember that happening, but I remember you telling this story.
Oh, I remember it vividly.
Did you feel that bad?
I mean, not horrible, but like I feel bad when that kind of stuff happens. So yeah, that's how we met. It's honestly not a huge. Well, that's our first interaction. I wouldn't necessarily call it how we met, how we became friends. I would say that we really got to know each other again because of Cap, because Cap has another friend named GrassWing.
I felt like I met Grass before I met Cap.
You probably did. I met Grass through Cap, and through Grass, I really got to know you, I would say.
I guess that's fair.
So GrassWing is also a cool guy. Unfortunately, I don't know if we can really link him in any way because, well, I guess you could follow him on Twitter if you really wanted to. I'll leave that to Star's discretion because she's the one doing all the linking.
Alright.
You know, maybe we should be writing down these things that we're mentioning that we need to link to.
I mean, you'll listen back to this, right? I'll leave it to you.
I mean, maybe.
You can just tell me to link stuff later.
Yeah. At any rate. Grass is a cool guy. He's Norwegian, you know. Gotta have those foreign friends.
Has a fantastic accent.
He does have a fantastic accent. Coincidentally, he is also a mathematician. But yeah, I would say we met each other mostly through him, because I knew him before I knew you, and you knew him before you knew me, which means that he's the common thread, and I'm explaining something I really don't have to explain.
I don't know where you're going with this.
So yeah, that's how we met. And, we've been friends for pretty much ever since.
Yeah. So the only game we have in common is Minecraft, and I don't even play that anymore.
That's not the only game we have in common.
Okay, it's one of the only games.
I'm looking at this. Well, let me switch windows to look at this Google Doc. This completely
Google Doc that just says
Google Doc
things
that perfectly outlines our entire episode for us with no shenanigans whatsoever. I see the word Overwatch
Why
on
Star
here.
Is a bad friend.
Okay,
Star always bullies.
do not read out that next one.
I mean, that's on you.
Okay, anyway. We're teasing that for the future, I guess. Anyway, I see Overwatch written on there, and Star specifically mentioned this as something to talk about, because she apparently hates Overwatch.
I don't hate the game. It's just not a game I have time to play, and not a game I'm good at.
I mean, I totally get that, because I consider myself at least decent. I'm competent. I would say you're competent as well. But in terms of time, yeah, I don't have the time to play as much as I used to when we first started playing.
Yeah, when Lime and I first started playing Overwatch, we both bought the game, and we played like
8 hours a day.
8 hours every day.
It was wild.
It was over summer break.
Yeah, before I had a job.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I played Tracer.
Yeah.
I played Tracer for like 50 hours, and then I switched to someone else. And I was never great at Tracer either. Yeah. I don't know why I played her for that long.
My favorite character is Junkrat, which sure, some people watching might say, Junkrat's a terrible character, he's so easy. Whether or not that's true is not what I'm going to be talking about. I just love the character. Honestly, just like the personality of the character for me, I can't have a bad time while I'm playing him, and that's part of why I like it so much. Also, I consider myself pretty good at the character, regardless of whether or not it's easy to play as him. Again, not something I'm going to go into, but also like Zarya, Zenyatta, Lucio, they're all pretty fun characters.
Yeah. And yeah, I started playing again recently, before I had to go back to school.
Yeah,
and Moira is probably my favorite hero right now. Super easy to play, though.
She's fun. I disagree. I think she's tricky. I've only played her like twice, but I would say that it takes a little getting used to the way she plays. There's a lot going on with her kit.
She has a right click that's basically Symmetra. She can dodge,
yeah,
and she can heal.
Its range is also way worse than Symmetra's, I might add.
Yeah, but
I just consider her a little tricky because she has there's a lot going on with her kit, you know?
I'll agree to disagree.
Okay, fair enough. So, the star.
So
We know a game you don't like. What about
Oh?
some games you do like? What are some of
games?
your hang on. What are some of your Factfo games? Sorry, I made a terrible typo in this Google Doc.
So today we've learned that Lime can't spell.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't learn that today.
Well, at least you're good at math. You have
Yeah.
to compensate for something.
Oh yeah. So what are some of your favorite games, Star?
I mean, for games I like rage games.
Apparently,
like, anything...
they calm you down or something. That's what you said to me yesterday.
I mean, anything that's like a bullet hell, I probably enjoy. Like Enter the Gungeon, any Toho game, Rabby Ribby.
Bullet hell is
and
fun.
like any music game is also really fun.
Like Osu exclamation! I'm sorry, I should yell that. No, I'm not gonna do that because there's parents. My parents are home. If I was home alone, I might have yelled that.
Okay. Like Crypt of the Necrodancer is pretty fun.
I've never actually played that. Is that fun?
I just said it was fun.
Okay. Sorry. I was hoping you'd go into a little more detail.
I mean, I'm not sure what you want me to say. Do you know anything about the game?
I know it's music-based.
It's one of those games that require you to go along with the beat.
Oh, then I'd be terrible at it.
It's like a roguelike game.
Okay. I mean, I think I've only ever heard good things about it. It was just never a game that really caught my eye when I buy games that I never play.
I mean, it's worth a shot. I think it's on sale right now.
Maybe I'll check it out. Some of my favorite games. Thanks for asking, Star.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. You can continue talking if you want. I don't want to take that away from you.
No, it's okay.
You sure?
It's okay. Clearly, you have something to say.
Some of my favorite games. I really like platformers. Probably my favorite all-time game. It's a classic. Banjo-Kazooie, with its music composed. He didn't make the entire game. With its music composed by the infamous Brent Kirkhope. Love that guy. Yeah, I love platformers. I also like puzzle games, but platformers, man, the best. Banjo-Kazooie. I have so many fond memories of playing that when I was younger. When I went to daycare when I was in elementary school, they had an N64 and they would have that game, and none of us got very far in it. But
speaking of platformers, shout out to Cave Story.
Very
good classic. Great.
Wasn't I gonna?
Very good classic.
Weren't you gonna do something if I recorded that?
If you recorded,
Cave Story.
I don't know.
I feel like we made a deal with that.
I made a deal with Cap, but he never followed through. So
well, I was
gonna dye my hair or something.
I still have a rap battle to make from like 2 years ago when somebody challenged me to a rap battle.
Nice.
Oh,
I know. You can do it right now.
No, thank you.
You're no fun.
But yeah, Banjo-Kazooie, all-time favorite game. Super Mario Sunshine, amazing game.
It's a pretty good game.
Yeah. Pokemon, probably my favorite series in general. If I had to go for like a particular series of games, not just one-offs or like Banjo-Kazooie as a sequel, obviously. But yeah, Pokemon.
I never really got into Pokemon.
Well,
like
that's
just
your
one of those
problem.
games. Well, I never had a DS growing up, so
okay, all right.
So that's
this is
like
how
a
I know
big
you're
part of
younger
it.
than me.
I'm not that much younger.
But I started with Blue on the Game Boy Color. Technically,
well,
that game
okay,
was the original Game
okay.
Boy, but...
Technically, my brothers had a Game Boy Color, but my parents would hide it and then they lost it, so I never got to play it because they did have the game. I just never got to play it.
Aren't your parents against? I don't know if this is something you want to go into. Aren't your parents against Pokemon or something like that?
Yeah, I grew up in a very religious household, so like I couldn't grow up reading any of Harry Potter.
Oh, Harry Potter's
and they were very much like Pokemon is evil.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting phase.
Yeah. But you played a little bit of the newer Pokemon games.
Yeah, I mean,
but apparently you didn't have a DS growing up, so you couldn't play any of them.
I've seen people play Pokemon, but it just never appealed to me because I never got the hands-on experience.
Yeah, I
did play and beat Pokemon Moon because my friend had a DS and lent it to me.
Yeah.
But it's just your standard Pokemon game.
I'll be honest, I think that if I hadn't played Pokemon when I was younger, I don't know if I had never played it until this year, if this year was the first time I ever played a Pokemon game, I don't know that I would get into it at all. I think a lot of what keeps me going is just I enjoy the games, don't get me wrong, but I think nostalgia is a pretty big factor, and that if I didn't have that nostalgia, it'd be much harder to really get into it now, as somebody who's older.
And that's fair. I mean, I grew up playing MapleStory. I grew up playing all sorts of PC games, but MapleStory was a big one. And had I not played MapleStory growing up, I probably wouldn't have still cared for that game, because a lot of that game is pretty awful now.
Hang on a second. I have distinct memories of you talking about how much you hate MapleStory, and then about 2 days later being like, oh yeah, I'm playing MapleStory again, even though I said I was never going to play it again.
Okay, but in all fairness, I have quit for about a year now.
Sure.
Okay, no, it hasn't been a full year. I've quit for about for about 6 months now.
All right,
I think that's fair. You can give me that.
I wish I'll give you that. But I wish I was joking when I'm saying that. Star would say I'm quitting MapleStory, and then 2 days later, you would talk about how she's playing it again.
I was pretty addicted. I'm not gonna lie. But it wasn't a good game. Like,
and apparently now
at least not anymore. It used to be a good game.
Didn't you just say it's better now?
No, I said it's worse now.
Oh, okay. Maybe you did.
It's nothing about the game right now is good. I'm pretty sure I said it was bad.
I believe you.
At least I meant to say it was bad. But nothing about that game is good right now.
I've never played it, so I have
Okay, good. Don't.
I have no intentions to after you telling me horror stories, even though you went back to it shortly after.
It's just a money sink.
Yeah.
But I played a lot of MMOs growing up.
See, I was never really into MMOs. Minecraft, first of all, I would not categorize that as an MMO, but that's really my only. That's really the only like multiplayer game I play.
Did you ever play Neopets?
A little bit.
I was pretty big into Neopets also. I went out of my way to collect all sorts of trophies and avatars.
Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't say a little bit. I played it for a while, but yeah, I there was a point where I started using the boards there, and then I really stopped playing the actual other stuff, and then I stopped.
That's fair. But yeah, I don't know. I guess for someone who wasn't allowed to do a lot of stuff, I did have a lot of freedom with just playing games online.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I sort of did as well, although I was more of a like console or handheld person when I was younger. It was only maybe the past, I would say, around the time I started college was when I started getting more into PC gaming and moving away from console in particular. Handheld, I would still play a lot. Like Pokemon, obviously, is a handheld game, and I said before it's one of my favorite franchises. But I do a lot of PC gaming now. Not so much consoles. I have plenty of consoles at home. I'm looking at my shelves right over here. I see my Switch, I see my PS3, my PS4, my PS2, my N64.
Yeah,
My Wii
I
is
grew
over
up.
there somewhere too. My GameCube is on the floor. But yeah.
Yeah, I grew up with an N64, a PS2, and a Wii,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it.
Yeah.
But I had fun, especially playing DDR on the PS2. Those were good times.
DDR.
Yeah, I love
I
DDR.
would be terrible at that game if I would ever play it, but I don't think I am because I feel like I'd make a fool out of myself aside from just being terrible. That's a big. This is not related to video games, but that's a big thing for me that I find to be. You know how we were talking about being socially awkward. That's a big thing for me when it comes to social situations. I'm always afraid of making myself look like a fool or something, which really limits me in terms of the things I do or say.
Yeah, over time I've just stopped caring. I look like an idiot anyways.
See, I tell myself a lot. It doesn't matter anymore, and I think as I've gotten older, I've gotten to a point where I care a lot less than I used to. But then every once in a while, like that thought just creeps into your head. Like these people are gonna see you and think, what the heck is this guy doing?
Well, I mean, every now and then, like, I feel really embarrassed doing something. Like, I mentioned at the start of the podcast, I think, that I'm a game art major.
Mm-hmm.
And so this semester, I had, like, we're pitching
You're not
games
doing
for
nude drawings,
our
are you?
senior year. What?
You're not doing nude drawings, are you?
Oh no, that was freshman year.
Okay. Alright.
That was figure drawing class. Okay.
Sure it
But
was.
we had to analyze a game that was similar to the one that we were making. And I'm not going to go into too many details, but I had to analyze Yandere Simulator.
Oh yeah.
And I knew that
remember you
all
telling
my
me about this.
professors, I knew that all my professors would have to look at it. Because, or at least like in our PowerPoint, like we had to put plays like Yandere Simulator on there. And I was like, oh no, this is going to be so embarrassing.
Well, I'm sure that's a story that your professors will be telling till the end of time. These
I mean...
these students of mine, they're playing it. They're making a game that's like this. I'm not even going to go into it.
I mean, in all fairness, it's a pretty intriguing game, and I think it looks pretty fun. I haven't played it myself, but I kind of want to.
I think I've seen clips of it. That's about it. And from the clips I've seen, it's an interesting game.
Well, you're missing out. You should check out some actual video footage of that.
Maybe someday. Star, you there?
Yeah.
So, I guess what's going on in life now?
I don't do anything aside from homework and sleep.
Yeah, I don't do anything aside from sleep and go to work. Today's actually one of my days off. That actually reminds me. You were talking to me the other day about maybe talking about things we hate on the podcast. Wait, right, I vaguely remember you also mentioning that the first rule of podcasting is not to mention the podcast.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, well, okay, never mind. Forget I said anything. Anyway.
Alright, Lime, so what do you hate?
Well, there was this guy. Okay, I said before I work in a customer service setting. My place of work has a drive-through. And it involves people purchasing things, and people can purchase these through the drive-through. And what was it? So this guy apparently has been having a problem with this one thing related to purchasing these things for a while, and I was like, okay, I'll talk to the manager, my manager, and see if they can figure that out. And I was like, well, I need to purchase this now. I have like, apparently this guy, I guess, does like heating work, because like people need heat. So I was like, okay, we're working on it. Just if somebody pulls up behind you, if you could drive around so you're not blocking up the drive-through. And it's like, no, I'm staying right here until I get what I came for. And it wasn't like an easy problem to fix. The manager had to call like the corporate office just to see what was going on with this thing. And so this guy was getting really nasty and was just like, I can't do this anymore. I hate people like that. But like, I'm not gonna say that to their face, and it's not apparent when I'm in that situation that I hate that sort of stuff. It's more so after the fact. I hate that people are so I don't even know a good word for it. Like, the guy was a real ass.
It's just like inconsiderate.
Yeah, it's like, come back after work. I don't know. It's not like this. Is it? Yeah. But I hate people who are rude like that.
Well,
or think that, especially in a customer service setting, that the people there aren't people, right? I think that having worked in a customer service setting, and I will be honest, like, people always say the customer service is hell. I haven't, from working in it for about a year, like I wouldn't say it's as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. It's more so the fact that the nightmare customers leave such a larger impression on you than some of the super pleasant people to deal with.
I mean, my experiences from working in like anything related to customer service has been pretty shit. So yeah.
Mine honestly hasn't been too bad, but maybe.
I guess it's like situational.
Yeah.
So, like, I worked at Dunkin' Donuts and I had the worst time of my life.
Yeah. But I think people take for granted that, you know, these people that you're dealing with have to do so much with their time just to make that 10 seconds you have to interact with them happen, you know?
Remember, Lime, the customer is always right.
Yeah, I mean, sure, whatever.
I hated that phrasing.
I get it. You know, I get the phrasing, but I don't see people bringing it up too much as an excuse to be an absolute asshole. But I don't think it means what a lot of people think it does, you know? I think it more emphasizes the fact that you do what you can to please the customer.
Yeah. And sometimes it's difficult.
Not that the customer can say whatever they want and get whatever they want. But I those kind of people just they frustrate me to no end. But, you know, it also makes me wonder. These people must have hard times pretty much anywhere they go, and it really makes me wonder if they think that everywhere they go, it's just a bunch of incompetent people causing problems, and not the fact that they're just an unpleasant person to deal with, and that's what the problem is.
I mean, there's plenty of people out there that have that mentality, and it's pretty prevalent.
Yeah.
Because there's people that go out of their way to make themselves the victim all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I always try and be a nice person, because that's just the way I am. I don't hold grudges. Well, I shouldn't say I don't hold grudges. I hold grudges, but I don't make them apparent. But outward facing to people, especially people I don't know, or people I'm not even friends with, I'm always going to be kind to them, right? They're friends, obviously. We might, you know, dick around with each other. But at the core, like, they're my friends. Of course, I'm going to be nice to them. I always try my best to be nice to people, or at least not an asshole, you know?
Oh, I'm very much an asshole.
Because what goes around comes around. If I'm going to be an asshole to people, then they're going to be an asshole back. And I don't want people to be an asshole to me, so I'm going to be nice to everybody else.
I mean, I try to go out of my way to be respectful to people.
I should say respectful is probably a better word to put it than just nice, than just kindness.
Yeah. Like, I like giving everyone, a chance to prove themselves, for lack of better word.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I know, like, I'm pretty bad at first impressions, and I'm sure, like, it's frustrating when people judge me based off of first impressions, because I'm awful at communicating sometimes.
Oh yeah, I stumble over my words all the time. People probably just think I'm a bumbling idiot, especially because I also mumble. I don't know if that's been obvious from listening to me so far, but I mumble a lot.
I mean, you're pretty understandable.
Well, that's what's important, I guess. I think talking a lot is part of my job, and also just by nature of making videos on YouTube, has helped me a bit in my I don't know the right word for it. Elocution? No. That sounds like something that you do to people who did seriously bad crimes.
Execution?
Yeah. Or I was thinking electrocution, but you know.
Oh, okay. Close enough.
Execution works too. I think I've gotten a lot better in just being understandable. That's how we grow. You gotta practice to get better at things.
Yep. Unfortunately.
Like art,
but
right, Star?
That is life. Yeah, like art. Alright, back to stuff that pisses me off, right?
Yeah. Apparently everything that you study in school pisses you off.
That's not true at all.
I know one thing that would definitely piss me off if I was in your situation. I remember, I guess it was your first year of school, like maybe your second semester. I think that was probably about the time I met you.
Everything about freshman year was a nightmare.
Yeah, but you were telling me about how expensive your required materials for classes were. And then I think towards the end of the year you were like, yeah, I didn't even use most of them.
Yeah, art school is really expensive, and especially if you're in the States, it's one of those things that I don't know if I'd recommend unless you like specifically knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
Or where you wanted to go. But freshman year was a lot of just traditional mediums that I had never touched before.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, there was figure drawing, which I had never done before, and I'm surprised I even passed. Apparently. Yeah.
Sure, that was a fun time.
I mean, the idea of figure drawing isn't to just, like, stare at someone that's naked. It's to, like, get the forms right.
Are you sure, Star? I'm pretty sure that in order to get the forms right, you have to stare at somebody who's naked. Gotta get every detail on that penis correct.
Alright.
Anyway, go on.
What was I even trying to say?
I'm sorry for putting the image of penises in your mind.
Why would you do this to me, Lion?
Sorry. Because we're friends. Friends are the people you can be assholes to, and it's alright.
But yeah, freshman year was pretty frustrating. And I distinctly remember having all these classes and taking all these classes that I didn't think would be useful for me in the future. Like, I had to do a lot of painting, and I had never touched gouache either. And so that in itself was a nightmare.
You never touched what?
Because What?
What did you never touch?
Gouache.
What's that?
It's a type of paint.
Okay.
But, so that was frustrating too. And I just remember being pretty embarrassed because most of my classmates knew what they were doing. And then I was just kind of there, just trying to fit in.
Yeah. Well, I think, not to discredit you or how you felt or anything, but I think a lot of that first year stuff you were doing is more so just to kind of get the basics down. Because I think in general, for any kind of art, there's a bit of a philosophy to it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Like, a lot of what I learned freshman year is useful, but at the time I didn't see it as that. And I was just frustrated because I was mixed in with, like, the computer animation kids and the illustration kids, and I was just like, man, I'm in game art. I just want to make video games.
Yeah.
So I just didn't see the bigger picture.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I never felt that I ever felt necessarily exactly the same way you do, and not having an appreciation for the basics or the fundamentals in terms of math. But I know I see a lot of people saying like, oh, like calculus, blah 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 blah. We're never gonna use this in real life. And honestly, even a lot of algebra stuff, most people are never gonna use. But it's not so much the fact that it's going to be useful outside of your educational career, your academic career. It's more so what it teaches you and how to solve problems. And if you're going to go further along with that particular field, in this case math, having those basics, having those fundamentals is imperative towards the more advanced stuff. Solving proofs, yeah, it's all theoretical, but you still need to have an idea of how to do certain operations, make certain things happen with numbers or just variables. And that's something I definitely think is taken for granted, at least with mathematics. I've said it before, I love math. I feel like it has a very bad reputation amongst people in general as something that people hate and is never going to be useful to them, and it's absolutely not.
I mean, I have a pretty high respect for people that are good at math.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably why I'm friends with you, part of the reason at least. And Grass. But I mean, I didn't know you guys were...
Yeah, that's true.
Like, skilled at math when I first met you guys, but... Like, growing up, I wanted to be an astrophysicist. Mm-hmm. But I was awful at physics.
Like, I'll be the first to say, it's not for everybody. Some things just do not come easy to everybody, and there's nothing wrong with that. There were some topics in high school level math that just didn't click for me right away, and it took me a pretty long time just to really have those click in my head. And then once I did, it was like, I don't know why I ever had a problem with this, but not everybody has that luxury of being able to figure things out, or just
like I enrolled in AP Physics, and I tried so hard. I wanted to be good at that class, but it never clicked for me. I watched as it clicked for other kids, but then for me, I was like, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing.
Language star.
And then... Okay. I'm like, seriously. But like, I passed the class because the teacher pitied me. I did not do well on the AP Physics exam.
Yeah, I mean...
we don't talk about that.
And I'm not trying to say... I'm not trying to say anything bad about you, but sometimes people kind of need that wake-up call, too, to realize what they're good at and what they're not.
Yeah, for sure. And like, so the year after that, I was like, well, I guess I'm not doing science stuff, but I took environmental science instead. Yeah. Learned some pretty cool stuff.
That's good, at least.
Yeah.
As long as you can say that you tried, I don't think there's anything to be disappointed about with yourself.
I mean, I'm always trying.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means anything, though.
It counts for something, honestly. It really does. Right?
Hopefully.
Mistakes are how you learn, and the only way you can make mistakes is if you try.
Yeah, I've made plenty of mistakes.
Yeah, we all do. Believe me, we all do. But, yeah. Math is my passion, which brings me to another thing I hate. Not math.
Math is my passion, but I hate everything else.
I hate those dumb, like, you know what chain emails are, right?
Spam emails, essentially.
Yeah, those things that people just send. It's like, wow, look at this. It's basically clickbait in email form.
I haven't gotten any of that.
Yeah, I haven't gotten it in a very long time either. My dad sent some bunch. Well, the thing I hate is basically chain emails in Facebook form or other social media form which is
Oh, well.
those posts about like people can't solve this problem, and it's basic like elementary operations and math. It's like some people get 6, some people get 14. Which one's right? And it's just like, oh my god, it's so obvious why this is just wrong entirely, and there's absolutely a concrete answer that people should arrive at. And it basically boils down to people using terrible notation that nobody in the right mind would ever use if they actually wanted to figure something out legitimately.
I mean, clickbait's everywhere, and I hate it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that shouldn't exist.
Yeah, I get why people do it on, say, YouTube, because it generates views. Whether or not it's deserve views, whether or not you consider it like a cheap tactic. I get why people do it. But yeah, I think that good content can hold its own regardless of whether or not it has clickbait title or thumbnail. That's my philosophy.
It's just like stuff like clickbait never made sense to me because it's stuff that shouldn't work but does. Because I feel like
because it generates interest, and people are like, this person lived to 400 years old by doing this. Wow.
But with a platform like YouTube, you need that initial like click.
Yeah.
And that'll like get people to go to your channel, but you also need content that actually retains an audience.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying.
And I feel like with clickbait, you don't have that retention, yet somehow it still does so well.
Well, yeah, because
that never made sense to me.
Because you get the clicks of people who just want to see what it's about, what's this about, like cars flying? I guess I'll take a look at that. They watch it for like 2 minutes or something and be like, oh, okay, whatever.
But then you don't get the subscription, and chances are they probably won't come back.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying before. Like, I think that good content can hold its own regardless of whether or not it has clickbait involved in any way.
Yeah, for sure. But good content doesn't need clickbait.
I sort of agree, but I also can kind of see an argument for why it could be helpful. Don't get me wrong, I'm not advocating for clickbait. Clickbait is dumb. But I can see why a person might do it, even if they do still have good content.
Well, yeah, it's manipulative and it gets views, but at the end of the day, I just don't understand how something like that can actually go anywhere, I guess. Oh,
we need to think of a title for this that's clickbait.
Let's just name it Episode 1.
I know what we can name it. Star Hates Art.
I mean, I feel like clickbait's generally at least like 2% accurate.
Okay, no. It has to be Star Hates Art in all caps. I feel like you'd piss off a lot of people on Tumblr.
But that's not even remotely true.
It doesn't have to be true. It's just like clickbait. You also said that you hate art school. So I mean,
I did not say I hate art school. When did I say I hated art school?
Never mind. Come on, I'm coming up with ideas here, Star. How else are we gonna get famous?
Not like this. I didn't expect this podcast to go anywhere like.
If we're gonna get famous, I don't want to do it like this.
Well, you're the one bringing it down this path.
I was voicing what I think your thoughts are. So I'm in agreement. But yeah, clickbait, I agree. It's pretty whatever. But I hate those dumb math posts that are basically just clickbait. Like, oh my god. And then you get like these long arguments over people arguing what the order of operations is, and it's just like, no, stop! You guys are no.
I mean, people like to argue. Yeah, arguing's fun. To an extent.
It depends on the kind of argument. Like if it's a friendly argument, like the kinds we have most of the time. I don't know if we've ever.
We argue.
I don't know if we've ever, I would say like some of our discussions could be akin to a friendly argument, where we both have different sides but can respect each other's viewpoints. Those kind of arguments I'm okay with. Like genuine arguments where people are angry, no, leave me out of it. I hate being angry. Like I don't consider myself somebody who gets angry often, if pretty much at all.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard you yell or like actually raise your voice.
I hate the feeling of being angry because I have been angry before in the past, and it's just not a good feeling for me. So just like I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna waste my time on something that's gonna make me feel like absolute crap. But believe me, there's plenty of other things that make me feel like absolute crap, but something that I can avoid is if it's something I can avoid, it's something I'm gonna avoid.
Fair. Feel like that's logical.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen you. Well, no, I have seen you angry, I guess. Maybe. I don't know if it's genuine anger. It's more like, God, I hate this, and it makes me angry, but I'm not really angry right now.
I mean, I rant a lot.
Oh, I do too.
But no, I don't think you've ever seen me genuinely angry, because I try not to be.
Like, I've had people tell me that I seem like the kind of person who once they get angry, like it's a storm. And I would say maybe that's true. There's times where, like, in my head I'm very frustrated, and that's the thing. I get frustrated, but I try my best not to let it show. So like at work I'll get frustrated with something, and then like I'll go home and I'll start envisioning like ways a scenario could pan out, and I picture myself getting angry and snapping back at people in the if those scenarios were to ever happen. And I don't think they would ever play out like the way they do in my head, but
how can I murder this person?
No, it's not like that. It's more me just cursing at them, mad. Swearing at them, and walking out the door and making a formal complaint.
Yeah, you're surprisingly PG.
I try to be. It's not because I think it's bad to curse or anything. Like, I don't give a crap what people do with their lives. I don't feel like it adds anything to pretty much anything, right? Like, I don't think saying fuck, shit, damn it, that kind of stuff really adds any meaning most of the time to what I'm saying. And if it does add meaning, like, I could just substitute them with the word heck, which is, first of all, much funnier to say hecking heck or something like that. Or like, what the heck, or God, I hecked up. To me, that's just so much funnier, and people understand what I'm saying at that point, so it really doesn't matter if I use the word heck or the word fuck or whatever.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely respectable, but I curse.
Yeah, and also, like, I don't like, there's people who don't like hearing that stuff as well, right? I don't know the reasonings for it, whether or not they're good reasonings or not, but people don't want to hear that stuff. Like, I don't want to be the person to ruin their enjoyment of something by swearing once or something like that. Stuff slips up. Like, I try, like, when I'm recording videos, I try my best not to swear, and every once in a while it slips up. There's been a few times where I think it's funny to bleep things out that really don't need to be bleeped out. So, like, sometimes I'll bleep it out, because to me that's just funny. And but I try my best not to swear in recordings and stuff, because, like, if people watch them, I don't want to ruin their enjoyment of something. Not that people watch my videos. I don't want to ruin their enjoyment of something by swearing. But like I said, it also adds nothing to what I'm saying anyway. So
yeah, that's fine. People watch your videos, though, I think.
Yeah, sometimes. Do you really think I'm that PG?
You're pretty PG,
Depends
even when you're
around.
mad. I
guess
you're just PG around me for some reason.
No, I mean, I'm PG around people in general. Depends on the topic, my mood at the time, I suppose. Just the way I am, I guess. I'm okay with it. Are you okay with it? Do you want me to be less PG?
I don't care.
Do you want me to move up to PG-13?
Okay, you're allowed one curse word this podcast.
I think I've
Go.
already used it a couple times.
Oh yeah, You've already demoed your cursing skills.
Yeah. I wonder if that's surprising to people to hear me say that. I guess it's kind of surprising for you. Maybe you don't hear it that often.
I mean, you've typed it.
Yeah,
and I don't talk to you that much. Surprisingly.
See, honestly, one of the main reasons I stopped cursing a lot was, I kid you not, what I said before. I just think that replacing curse words with the word heck is hilarious.
I mean, you do all sorts of questionable things, like calling Farah Farah from Overwatch.
Okay. That is another friend of mine who would always call Farah Farah, and I started doing it to make fun of them, and then just couldn't stop.
And then he couldn't stop.
But also, I think it's funny, so like, it's not a.
But why?
It just is. I don't know. God, my face hurts from smiling.
Aw.
Yeah. I don't know. I think at the very least, amongst my peers, it adds a degree of uniqueness to myself. By not participating in the cursing.
I mean, you already have a very soothing voice, and I feel like that in itself.
Actually, I've had somebody tell me that in real life as well.
I mean, it's
true. The person who cuts my hair told me that, like, because I always ask, like, what I'm doing at work, how work is going, that stuff. So I'm like, you know, blah, 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 blah. People come in, blah, 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 blah. I sell them stuff, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, well, I bet in situations where people are frustrated or something, they find that you have a very calming and soothing voice, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty true.
Well, thank you, I guess. You have a soothing voice too?
I don't think that's true, but thanks.
I mean, I won't, I'll leave it at that.
Liar.
I don't know how to respond. I'm bad at responding to compliments.
You don't. You just take it.
Yeah, but I feel like I have to say something back, you know?
Take the compliment out of the gift box.
No,
and set it
I don't want
aside.
your dumb compliment. Take it back.
Okay, fine.
I said that to somebody at work once, too. In a joking manner. They said something nice to me, and I was just like, no, I don't want this. Take it back.
It's like, fine, I'll gift it to someone else who has a soothing voice.
Yeah.
Who do you think has the most soothing voice?
You know about mind crackers, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a couple of them who have very soothing voices. Namely, Nebris. I don't know which one it is. He has a very soothing voice. He's got like permanent morning voice. Avidya, he's got a good voice.
Yes, Avidya has a very good voice.
I think Millbee also has a very good voice. Not only is he foreign, but like I don't know what it is about Millbee's voice, but it's just very relaxing.
Coestar as well.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good voice.
But I think this guy isn't a mindcracker, but Cryaotic. He has the most soothing voice I've ever heard. You should go check him out. Very cool guy.
I guess we're gonna have to link to him as well, huh?
I guess we're linking everyone.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
How many people did we just mention?
Man, I'm actually gonna have to watch this back now. God. I'll probably have a pretty good idea afterwards. Like, once we're done, I'm just gonna write down a bunch of the names we mentioned. Yeah, I like soothing voices. They're always nice to listen to.
Yeah.
Well,
and anyone with an accent also.
Well, it depends on the accent, and like, again, mindcrackers like Pyro.
Pyro has a great accent. I love Irish accents.
I wouldn't say he has a bad accent. I don't like watching him in stuff because I find it very hard to understand him sometimes. And I don't know if that's his accent or maybe he just plays it up a bit. But
I don't think he plays it up.
But I just find it very difficult to understand him sometimes, and I don't fault him for that. I don't think he's a bad person or anything. It just makes it hard for me to watch his videos. Well, I mean, not that I watch any Minecraft videos anyway, but...
Well, I had found Minecraft through Pyro, actually.
I found it through, I believe it was Pause.
Yeah, because I had been watching Pyro long before he joined Minecraft.
Mm.
And so, like, he has a special place in my heart.
Okay, that's fair enough.
He's a good guy. I guess we might as well just link Minecraft at this point.
I suppose so. There's some good voices there.
Yeah, but it's like they don't even do Minecraft content.
You know
anymore,
what other
really.
Minecrafter's a pretty good voice when he's not doing his silly voice?
Oh?
BdoubleO.
He's not a Minecraft member anymore.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. I like Etho's voice too, on the subject of people who aren't Minecrafters anymore.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of Minecraft
in years. For those of you who don't know what Minecraft is, it's just a group of people who started out as Minecraft Let's Players, but they've kind of branched out to other stuff as well.
Yeah, like, they're still around, but most of them don't play Minecraft anymore.
Yeah, or only do for, like, special event things or whatever.
Yeah, it's just they've all branched out, and they're just a name.
That's fine. Hey, if that's what they enjoy doing, that's what they enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I like Minecraft.
That you do.
Man, I've been playing some modded Minecraft. That's fun.
Yeah, I never got into modded Minecraft because it's just so complex, and I want to learn everything, but I just don't have the time.
That's what I don't like about mod packs, especially like big mod packs, is there's so much stuff to do you never know where to start. The one that the modded server I was invited to by some friends who I'm not going to name at the moment because I don't want to have to give Star any more people to link to.
We're already linking like 20 people.
Yeah, but I also don't want people to bother them.
Okay.
Should this video get views? I don't want people to bother them.
We're not going to get any. I don't have faith that we're going to get any views.
It has like a quest system which kind of directs you towards a path. So you kind of have this this progression system, like do this, and this to get further along. And like a lot of the stuff that you would have day 1, maybe day 2 in vanilla Minecraft, like diamonds, like I would say you and I are good enough that if we were to restart our own my own server, my own vanilla server tomorrow, we would probably have diamonds by the second day. Second in-game day.
I mean I wouldn't, because I wouldn't be playing.
Like, I'm not even at the point where gold is feasible yet. With the way the progression system works.
I think all I remember from playing modded Minecraft is making those turtles that just go around and mine for you.
I never did those because coding.
That was the only thing I did.
I can do some coding, and obviously I could just look at like tutorials on how to do stuff with those turtles, but I like coding. It's fun. Just stressful, I guess.
Yeah, I wish I had the time to properly learn how to code.
Yeah, I have basic knowledge of C++, and I mean like basic. But it's stressful. I would like to take the time to learn more, but one thing that I'm sure viewers will learn about me, and probably you as well, is that I'm lazy. I'm very lazy, and do not have a lot of motivation to do pretty much anything.
Well, I think humans are lazy by nature. But it's just the...
Maybe.
It's just the fact that, like, we have to do things in order to survive.
There's so many times I think to myself,
us from being able to be lazy.
Man, the fact that money exists sucks.
I mean, it does in a sense. The way that society's set up as a whole, I feel, is pretty unfair and frustrating.
I think that it certainly rewards a certain kind of person, and that makes it difficult for people who are not naturally that kind of person to get ahead. Like I think from my experience in working, at least in customer service, it the world seems to me to be built more towards people who are extroverted, people who are confident, or people who can at least fake confidence very well.
Well, yes and no. I think that that's important in a sense that like I guess extroverts are able to express themselves more easily, but I don't think that necessarily makes things better because you also have to know what you're saying.
I don't think it makes things better, but I think that the way in which society is set up rewards people who can do those things more than people who can't, or people who can do those things more easily than people who can't do them as easily. Like one of the things I always hated when people like growing up in high school, people would always say like it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. It's making those connections, networking, and all that stuff. And it's just like, then what's the point? Like if it's about
true.
if it's I to a certain degree, yeah, it is true. And obviously, people aren't going to hire you for something just based on knowing somebody if you don't have the knowledge, the prerequisite knowledge to back it up, or the capabilities to back it up. But that's kind of one of the things that always frustrated me as being somebody who's very introverted. Just like I'm not gonna go out of my way just to meet people. Like I've met some awesome people through working with them. But like if I hadn't been working with them, I wouldn't have spent the time getting to know them or anything because it's outside of my comfort zone, and that automatically puts me at a disadvantage when it comes to the concept of networking and reaching and making connections with people to further yourself.
I mean, for sure. Like, you can be the best in your field, but that doesn't mean anything unless you know how to reach out.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating. I mean, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I think
it's
ideally it's a healthy balance between the two, and not so much one or the other.
It's just the way society's set up. That, like, we're all expected to be, to like, do something, or to be successful, and in a way, that's almost our downfall, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because it breeds so much competitiveness and lack of willing to work together.
Well,
and if society as a whole were to work together, I feel like we'd be able to accomplish more.
Yeah, but even building a little bit off of what you were saying, in terms of success, I think success is kind of it's set up to be a necessity in some ways because, like I said, you need to make money in order to live. Money is a requirement for food, water, a house. Well, not necessarily a house, but a roof over your head. And if you aren't successful, you're gonna have a lot more trouble getting just those basic necessities.
I mean, money is everything. Yeah. As much as people hate to admit it, it just is. It makes up most of people's existence.
Yeah.
Because everything is based off of money.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that it's kind of one of those things that people never really tell you. Everybody sort of knows it or learns it as they get older, but nobody ever really tells you about it. That makes sense?
Yeah, for sure.
And for me especially, it was kind of it in a lot of ways it still is a hard thing to come to terms with.
Yeah, it's just a lot to think about.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, psychology's always been very intriguing to me. And just, like, thinking about how people think and, like, where society is at as a whole.
I guess. I don't know why I just hit my push to talk when I have voice activation on. So I'm sorry, go on. Please don't let me ramble on about this star, please.
I mean, have you been rambling?
Well, you were silent.
I guess.
You were silent and I was talking. I think that is enough to constitute rambling.
I feel like I'm usually silent when you're talking. That way I don't interrupt you.
Yeah, but even after I stopped talking, you were still silent.
My bad.
I think you did that on purpose. It was a ruse.
What ruse?
It was a ruse. Sorry, I'm stretching.
That you are.
So
go on, Lime.
Go on with what? I mean, I don't know. It's been about an hour. You think maybe we should end it soon?
It's up to you.
Well, I guess now's as good a time as any. We've talked about quite a lot, and I'm honestly pretty happy with how it's gone. For a first episode. I should mention that, like, obviously this is the first episode. We're not perfect at this. This is our first time trying this.
Oh yeah, it's been very awkward.
Yeah,
at least the start of it.
The idea is that over time we'll get better. So, for those of you who are watching, you know, thanks for watching and sticking around. And if you weren't watching through the entire thing or just got bored, you know, that's okay too. That, you know, that's part of life. You can't enjoy everything. Can't please everyone. It would be very nice if you would, you know, give us feedback, what you liked, what you didn't like. Also,
so to that one whole viewer that will be watching.
No, wait,
no. Please leave some comments below or with some questions so that we have something to talk about.
That's okay. I thought you were gonna end it now. I was gonna say there's one more thing we need to talk about before we finish up. Actually, there's a couple things I want to say. So first of all, for those of you watching this video and not just listening to it, because this is probably going up on multiple places, right, Star?
Probably.
Okay. So for those of you listening to this on YouTube or watching, there's not much to watch. There is a background picture that was made by somebody named Wintrchu. Star, why don't you tell us a little bit about this background picture and the person who made it? Where you could find them?
I mean, Wintrchu's a friend of mine that I know who is also from New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
And she does very fantastic art. And I'll link her Twitter below, I guess. Or like somewhere.
Okay. I'm sure you could probably find them just by searching for the name Wintrchu, right? It's Wintrchu.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm sure you could find them that way. I don't know if that's their handle on all platforms, but whatever.
Close enough.
Secondly, so Star, where can people find you? Should they want to, or should you want to be found?
I have a Twitter, twitter.com/Starls.
Okay. Anywhere else?
And what about you, Lime?
So I have Twitter. It is twitter.com/Lijme the Citrus. That's a mouthful. That's probably something we're gonna have to link. It's Lijme the Citrus. And I also have a YouTube channel where I infrequently upload gameplay videos. A lot of Minecraft, a lot of unfinished series that are probably never going to be finished. And that is youtube.com/userfigsandthings or whatever. Or you could just search Lijme, Lijme, in the YouTube search feature, and you can probably find me that way.
Figs and things and whatever?
Figs and things and whatever, what?
you said.
No, it's /figs and things. The whatever isn't part of that. It's figs and things, FIGSE. No, okay. FIGSANDTHINGS. I can spell good. So,
okay.
You know, thanks for watching, everybody. And like Star said, you know, put in some questions in the comments if you have any questions and we're listening to this. And I guess we'll catch you all next time.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.